Our Last Stand MMA. What's up, guys? Today I want to make a video about what it's like to walk into an MMA gym for the first time. All right, so by the way, this is Harold. He's my Frenchie, my French bulldog. Say hi. Harold's about a year old, so he's always kind of in here sometimes when I'm recording. So I'll have him just hang out for a second. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the first time of going into a MMA gym. Hold on, Harold. I need this. This is important. Say hi. All right, so when you first walk in, you're going to notice if you're going in probably like 5 or 10 minutes before practice starts, there's going to be guys either stretching out, hitting the assault bike, or jump roping, wrapping their hands. When you first go in, it's probably going to feel a little intimidating because you know what everyone's there for, which is to fight, right? I think it's also one of those feelings that every man should experience because at one point or another, you're probably going to find yourself in conflict in life. And so what better feeling than to know that you're prepared to protect your family, protect yourself, and be the equalizer in a conflicting situation. But nonetheless, when you go in there, people are going to be putting liniment oil on, like if you're a striker for Muay Thai, just to loosen up the muscles and take the soreness away. And just looking at, Jiu Jitsu from that side, probably get guys that are rolling their necks out, just stretching out their legs so they don't pull a groin or a hammy. And people are just chatting on the Jiu Jitsu side and the striking side. I think what you'll find is that on the striking side, the intensity is a little bit higher because you don't really have your hobbyists on that side. It's more guys who are trying to go to war standing up. And so the crowd's going to be a little bit younger for strikers typically. It's not all gyms, but typically that's how it is. Age range will probably be somewhere between like 17 to about, I would say 25 to 28, probably on the upper end. I feel like I'm an outlier being 31. And there's another guy that I train with, Colin. Colin, what's up? He's about, I want to say 43 or 44. And so for us, we're like the older guys in the class. But nonetheless, like if you want to go train on that side just to like have some self-defense with standing up, every fight starts standing. So my advice would be to definitely mix some Muay Thai in, especially if you're an upper belt for Jiu Jitsu. I give a lot of props to Professor Mike Amico. He's been to our 11 a.m. MMA class, and he's been doing phenomenally with his striking progressions. And he's a black belt in Jiu Jitsu. So imagine running into that guy, like if you had a problem with him or his daughter or something on the street, like it would be no bueno. But yeah, so the striking side is a little bit more intense. You will get live rounds with sparring at the end of class. Typically at the beginning of class, you're going to use the heavy bag or the water bag, which is good for uppercuts, to start warming up for the entire class. Usually you will do about 3 rounds of bag warm-ups and just different combinations and freestyle of whatever you would like. For me personally, I like to do boxing for the first round. For the second round, kicking only. And for the third round, I like to do a mixture of the two, which makes it a Muay Thai or kickboxing style round. And so after I get my heart rate up a little bit, then we go through either more bag work, but with a little bit more fine tuning to the methodology of how we strike the bag. Or we can do kicking conditioning or shin conditioning, which comprises of hitting a heavy bag with your shin from anywhere between 50 to 100 times per round. So you can either have a repetition set of 50 to 100 and that'll complete the round, or you go infinite amount of times to build your cardio and stamina for the entirety of that 2 or 3 minute round, whichever one your professor decides he wants you to do. Now, this is where it gets fun on the striking side. Striking side, after you're done doing your shin conditioning, your cardio work, that phase of class is now over. Now you're going to get into the best part of class, in my opinion, which is the sparring part. With sparring, now you're going to go light. You're probably going to start off with 1 round of just boxing, no leg kicks, no knees, no elbows. When that happens, Harold, come on, man. give me a little bit of grace here. When that happens, you're going to basically have a partner that you originate with, and the whole purpose of striking or any sort of combat sport, really, if you think about it, is to get as many variations of a partner as you can, because everyone moves differently with their kinesiology. It's really fun to be able to go with someone who is way lighter than you, because you will find that their speed and their windows are a lot tighter, whether that's with jiu-jitsu or striking. And if you go with someone heavier, you find out that they have heavier hands and they hit you a lot harder, even though it's a little bit slower of a movement. If they do get their hands on you, you have to be able to recuperate and think to yourself, all right, I got to have my hands up next time, so I don't get popped with that big of a hit. When it comes to the jiu-jitsu side, so class will start with a professor. Harold, you're killing me right now, man. Seriously, you're like messing up my mic and everything, dude. It's gonna come to a professor going through the move of the day and drilling sequences from that move. So, for example, if you wanted to jump into a class and they were teaching how to do variations of an arm bar, right? They're going to show you the first variation of how to get into that position of side control, and then lifting up that shoulder to then get it north-south, and then flipping over so that you can get that arm bar. Or maybe they'll do like a shotgun arm bar where you have like knee on belly and then you're pulling up the arm that way, another variation. The beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu is that there's like a million different variations to do the same move. And so you probably would spend about, I want to say, half an hour doing just warm up and move variations like that with your partner, still with the same partner. You're not switching partners at that time. And then the professor will ask if there's any questions, and then you go into what's called free roll. With free rolling, there's another half an hour or 45 minutes of you just going with different partners, and the professor will set the round clock. And usually for us, we do 6-minute rounds at Revolution. Some places that I've been to, like Gracie Baja in the Woodlands, they set an 8-minute clock. So really intense time doing that, even if you're conditioned. But you go with all sorts of belts, and the unwritten rule is if a higher belt comes up to you and asks you to roll, you drop everything you're doing and you go with them right then and there, because it's the respect factor of the martial art, right? So the other half of that is that you roll with a couple of partners, and then class is over at the top of the hour from wherever you started the roll. And then with striking, going back to that, you basically just kind of do a roulette with each type of light or heavy fighter, someone in your own weight class, depending on if you're competing or not. Heavy sparring usually takes place, I would say 10% of the time. It would take place a month out probably before your fight. In different spurts, you're going to know when your instructor wants you to dial it up, because the intensity of the class will take form like that, and he will give you the instruction to go a little bit heavier. Typically, that will be 2 to 3 weeks primarily before your competition. So if that, there you go, Harold. There you go. You probably just want to put yourself there. That basically sums it up. If that doesn't make sense to you guys at all, please leave me a DM or a message, and I could definitely help you out with like clarifying what to expect when going into a MMA gym or a combat sports gym. But that's basically the essence of the shell of how we work. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.